This is Thomas Renz with the Hitting Bootcamp. On the left we have day 1, and on the right we have day 4 in our swings. So going through his batting stance, his batting stance looks nice and relaxed. I'd say he's kind of a little on the narrower end of his stance. So that's something where in the future you could maybe even widen out a little more. It's going to be a little easier to use your hips and to really get everything you can from your lower half when we widen out just a little bit. But I mean, other than that, it looks good. And I do like how loose he looks in his hands up here. He looks very much under control. He's not gripping that bat too hard, and it looks proper placement for where our hand should be. Okay, so as we start the video here, we're going to watch his load and stride. Okay, now that's pretty slow right there, his load and stride. It's important when we're doing tee work that you keep the same tempo going as you would if I'm throwing a fastball at 80 miles per hour. Okay, so as you can see here, it's very long and slow right there, getting that leg up and that leg down. So just picking that speed up a little bit, maybe not lifting that knee up so high. I don't like to lift my knee when I load up. You can kind of keep that knee a little lower and have your foot come back, but not so much of a leg kick, because we can get into a little bit of trouble doing that. And another thing is just kind of watching how big the hands go in the load. I would much rather prefer just our hands pretty much going straight back and not having so much of a drop going on right here as we start our load. You can see the hands dropping down and coming back up. Okay, so now we're going to be getting into our, let's skip ahead. Okay, let's get into our launch position when our foot touches down. Okay, and so now let's go and take a look at the day 4 video as we start it. So the leg kick looks a little shortened down and not too bad. I still see the hands dropping just a little bit, but as long as you're keeping your hands back and when your foot lands, that knob is pointing down at the catcher's feet, I'm perfect with that. You can see in this first one, the hands are kind of a little off. I'd much rather see them in the position of pointing a little more downwards, down at the catcher's feet right there. Okay. So here we go. So once we get into our launch position, so this is where I was talking about how he can get a little wider and be able to utilize your lower half a little more. Thomas does a great job with his balance and being able to stay steady through a ball. He stays back on a ball and doesn't lunge out on anything, which is awesome. So, you know, I definitely want to highlight those good points, but just a suggestion would be maybe being able to step just a little wider, staying in a nice athletic stance still, but maybe touching down just maybe somewhere in that area, another couple inches or so, just to kind of give you a better base. But okay, so here we go. So now we'll just kind of sync them together and do a little bit of frame by frame together. As you see, Thomas does a really good job, and you can see on this after one how he's keeping the barrel back just a little longer right here, and the barrel's not getting separated from his shoulder so early. So that's definitely nice, and so he's getting his hands through a little more on the video on the right as opposed to the video on the left when the barrel starts coming around and ending up on the outside of his hands here as opposed to staying inside my hands as I'm going, as it's seen right here on the day 4 video. Okay, so here we go, and we're going to keep on moving on. And so that's basically what we would be saying. Keeping your hands inside the baseball is how you could see the barrel still stays back a little more, staying back, and now at contact we're hitting a lot of the inside of the baseball there. And then on his day one swing, he did kind of just uh, get a little soft with that barrel and kind of just got under that thing right there. Whereas he stays squared up pretty strong. And the one thing that I do like seeing in, really in both of these uh, is for the most part a pretty much straight line. He is maybe have his head back just slightly back of being straight up. Um, oh, okay, one second. Okay, getting it nice and straight there. There's a little bit of a straighter line right there. There we go. So ideally we'd want to be a little more straight up. In the day one he's pretty good right there, but a lot of kids his age are kind of having their head way out front, so he does a good job of keeping his head back. So I'll take that. And see, as we finish through, not too bad on the extension. Maybe could stay through the ball a little more, but for the most part keeps a pretty good balance. And yeah, things are looking good. So I encourage Thomas to keep it up. The swing doesn't look too bad. Just keep on practicing throughout the season, and yeah, have fun with your season.